Are you wondering how to balance being a working mom? Listen in for some tips that I've learned over the years of being a realtor and a mom. Hi, Jenica Williams here with Keller Williams Realty, and I'm going to talk a little bit today about balancing work and mom life. I have two boys, ages 10 and 7, and I've been in real estate the whole time, so for over 17 years. So I've definitely learned and had to adjust to having kids, being on maternity leave, how to deal with school schedules and sports, and still provide a really high level of service to our clients. So one tip that I'll give to you is we started doing dates on Sundays with our kids, so they no longer like it to be called dates. It's now called family time. This is time where my husband and I alternate with each boy and we spend time with them. Usually it's an hour, sometimes it's 45 minutes, doing something that they typically want to do. Maybe we go out for ice cream, maybe we play a video game, maybe we go play football or basketball at the park or soccer, something where we can really give them that undivided attention. We find that that attention really helps with behavior, and just the more that we can connect with them, the easier it is to when we go to discipline them typically. So that's one of the things that we've implemented, and what our hope is that as they get older that they want to continue doing those with us and just connecting with us. Maybe when they're teenagers we're going out to breakfast, or and that those will be times that we can really connect as they age. So next, I would just say having chunks of focused time. I think I read in a book, or maybe it was on a podcast, that we don't need like more time in the day, but we just need more focused time. And as a society, we are here, we're there, we're checking our phone. We're like, are we really here? Are we on our phone looking down? Are we, thinking about something else? So really just having focused time on each. So focused time on work. Mommy's gonna be working for 2 hours, and then really stay off my phone for a little bit so I can connect with them. So that would be another thing, because we all should know that multitasking is a myth, because likely if we're hanging out with them and checking our phone, we're really not giving them our full attention or our work our full attention. So really just having kind of those set times. And it is hard being a realtor and having that, right? Because people need you at a moment's notice. So you have to kind of figure out how to do that. But what I find is that when I have more focused time with work, I actually respond to my emails more thoroughly, and I'm not answering out of this urgency and maybe missing some things because I wasn't really focused. So that would be my next tip. Next, trying to have 20 minutes of intentional time with each kid, or the kids together each day. And it doesn't sound like a lot of time, but you can definitely be in your house and not be connecting with your kids. You can be with them all day and not have really connecting time with them. And so just having that 20 minutes a day, each day, really carve it out. I mean, we all probably scroll on social media for longer than that. So giving our kids that attention is something I found to be really helpful. I even have a sticky note next to my computer where I will journal and stuff in the morning that says 20 minutes a day with each, with our kids being present. And it just reminds me that I really strive to hit that goal. One other thing, especially for someone like me, I want to make sure we're still delivering that high level of service while I am with my family or while I am connecting with my kids, is to try to have someone who can cover for your business so that you can focus on your family on your days off. I know for me, I have someone who covers for me on my Thursday and Sundays, and oftentimes he doesn't get that many calls. And part of that is probably because clients do know we're off those days, and they do have someone to reach out to though, should they need him. And that makes me feel at ease. I know that I don't have to be checking my phone 100 times a day on my days off. So really finding someone that can cover for you, and you don't have to have a big team. I have somebody, and he's a part of my team in some ways, but not really. He works for many agents. So find someone that is willing to cover those calls for you so that you can take a breather, and then you'll be better off for it. You'll be better with your family, you'll be better with your clients because you were focused instead of being distracted. Next, I would say just make time for you so that you can be prepared to deal with the challenges ahead of each day. So I typically get up at 5 a.m. most days just to get ahead of my family. I'll work out, I'll journal, I'll read my Bible, I'll maybe read a couple minutes of a book that I'm into. And that just helps me to kind of set the tone for my day. Journaling about what I'm grateful for helps me realize as I'm going through the day and some challenges may come up that I do have a lot to be thankful for. And I even started a joy journal about my kids, trying to remember that, it's not all the discipline, and there's so much more than that. Like there's a lot of good. And sometimes I need to be reminded of that. Like maybe it was watching my kids play football with their friends the other day, or we did like a cup game challenge on New Year's that was really fun, or watching my son play basketball or something like that. Like what are the joyous moments that I find with them so that I can then go back and reflect. That's been a fun thing that I added last year. Also, ask for help. So I'm not a big one on asking for help. A lot of times I like to do it myself. I'm controlling by nature, default, but learning to let go, and have been learning over the years, and I'll probably keep learning. But just really asking for help, whether that's from your parents, in-laws, a babysitter, asking your spouse. My husband does a lot around the house. So he cooks breakfast every morning, he's doing laundry. So he's really helping because we are a dual working family, right? And so asking for help and not being afraid to ask for help and letting people help you. Because what I learned too, I think it was last year, was like when somebody does want to help you and you say, oh no, that's okay, you're kind of robbing from them in some ways too, right? It fills their bucket to be able to help. So think about it that way the next time someone says, may I help you? Or is there anything I can help you with? And really just letting them help you, because they're getting fulfilled from that as well. And then taking breaks. So having time where maybe your kids are having downtime and then you having downtime too. And I used to think, and my thinking is changing just kind of in the last couple months, but that like, okay, I'm going to have downtime and I'm just going to scroll on my phone. And what I realized is that actually makes me almost more anxious or not as happy. And so for me now, I'm switching my downtime to like reading a book, or what is something that really brings me joy that's on my list of things I wanted to do. Maybe that's being in the garden for 15 minutes, or, doing something else, baking, or looking at recipes that I really like. So really finding out what brings you joy and having that downtime throughout the day. I can see my mood change when I do put down my phone and I'm not feeling like this anxious need to continue to reach for it. And so I think when you're back and forth a million times on your phone, it can tend to bring up anxiety. So really taking those breaks throughout the day. And like an entrepreneur, right? Like our employees get breaks and they get lunch breaks, and I'm preaching to the choir here, but like we should be taking them too. And why don't we? We think we can just power through. And I'm even learning, oh gosh, I should go take a 15-minute break and just be off my phone and have a snack and maybe read a book or something to just reset my mind, because I'll be better for it those next few hours when I'm working. Lastly, I would just say give yourself grace. It's hard to be both things. It's hard to be mom and working mom. So just give yourself grace, knowing that when you screw up, I know there's times when I've maybe overreacted because I do feel anxious about work. I've overreacted at home. So really give yourself grace, ask for forgiveness, and know that you can try again tomorrow, because it is a balancing act. And I know that if you put certain things into place, you can feel a little bit more like the day runs smoother when you have some things in place to get you through. I hope this was helpful. Take care.